Well, I assume we're live, because my phone has a lot of delay, but I think we're live, so what's going on, everyone? So today I'm going to be running Pokemon Yellow any percent glitchless. It's going to be the first of 3 Pokemon runs in this marathon, like all in a row. After this is going to be White 2 by Go, and then I'm going to be running Omega Ruby. So a variety of different runs in the next couple hours, but we'll start with the original Gen 1. So we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Pokemon Yellow. It probably has the most, or like it's a lot more annoying start than the other Gen 1 game. It's so slow. Not enough characters, I probably should have specified that. So YOLO Swag was the winning donation name, and there was no donations for the rival name, so I'm just gonna name it A, which is the fastest name. So game, you don't have a choice, and because Gary is supposed to get the Pikachu, but instead he steals your Eevee. Very unfortunate, very mean boy. And so you fight him on the way out of the lab. And so this fight is actually pretty difficult, but it doesn't totally matter whether you win or lose. It's just what Gary's evolution is when it evolves. So it depends on how many wins you have in between this fight and the optional fight on the route left of Viridian City. So if you win 0 out of the 2, then you get Vaporeon, or he gets Vaporeon. If you win 1 out of the 2, he gets Flareon. If you win both, he gets Jolteon. So he'll never get Jolteon because you always skip that fight. You never can win it. So it really depends on Flareon and Vaporeon. In terms of how long the fight takes, Vaporeon is better because losing is almost always faster. However, in the long term, Flareon gets paired with Cloyster, and Vaporeon gets paired with Ninetales, and the combination of Flareon and Cloyster gives more experience than Vaporeon and Ninetales, so you have to fight a different trainer, which is a little bit more... it takes a bit more time, essentially. So that paralysis is very good, but if I get tackled again, I'm gonna die. Which, again, is not the hugest deal in the world, but we get the fully, so we did it. And also, we didn't nickname the Pikachu there, because we don't use it for long enough that nicknaming it is going to be worth it. Normally, in these types of games, you nickname it a 1-character name, but you catch the Nidoran less than 10 minutes into the game, so there's really no point in nicknaming it. Plus, the reason I didn't have Pikachu's name as an incentive or a bit war is because in order for me to guarantee that the Nidoran gets in the first ball without weakening it, the Pikachu has to be named a specific name, and that name happens to be not a nickname at all. However, I still will buy extra Pokeballs and a paralysis heal in case I don't get the YOLO Ball, so that I can afford to weaken it without risking a paralysis, because if my Nidoran gets paralysis, then you can't really recover from that. because you have to fight a few extra trainers afterwards. So basically here we're just going back and forth along Route 1. We're getting Oak's parcel and bringing it back to him, and trying to get as little encounters as possible. So this run, overall, I'd say is a lot more RNG dependent, like, especially later game, than Red, which is the other Gen 1 game. So you can die to, like, most gym leaders. I think the only ones you can't die to are Erica and Sabrina. But Blaine is dangerous. Giovanni's dangerous. Neither of those are dangerous in yellow or red. The entire Elite Four is pretty bad. So we went behind Oak here for a very specific reason. And that's so that Gary will take less steps back, because Gary takes I think it's twice as long. He walks very slowly. He walks twice as slow as you do, so it's faster to take extra steps to ensure that he takes less. Amount of time save, whether you talk to Oak from the side or from behind, but in yellow you have to talk to him from behind because of Pikachu behind you. So that's a lot of encounters. I think that's 4 encounters, which is over average, unfortunately. And so now we're going to RNG manipulate. Technically not a glitch, although some people will consider it cheating, but in general, the speedrunning community doesn't consider it or anything else in this category a glitch. There are a few things that are kind of iffy. So we're gonna get a almost perfect level 6 Nidoran male on this upcoming grass to use throughout the game. So the reason we use Nidoran male is because mainly it's like the one thing that it's one of the few things that can make it past Brock. Since there are no starters in this game,
just leave it wrapped up.
Sorry. So if you don't have starters in this game, you can't use Squirtle to beat Brock like you can in Red and Blue. So we're gonna execute Nidoran Minip here, and hopefully we can. The Minip itself to get the Nidoran is pretty easy. But the Yola Ball tends to be kind of difficult. Oh my god. See if I get it. And I missed it, okay. So I'm gonna have to weaken this now. It's kind of unfortunate. So I'm gonna attack it twice and hopefully don't paralysis. Okay. Okay, we got it. I might actually check. So we're gonna swap Nidoran to the front here. And while I do that, I'm actually gonna check and see if this Nidoran has bad special, and I'll explain what that means in a second. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, it has good special. So there's a thing in Gen 1 during RNG manipulations. It's called IGT 0, and it basically means that if you do a manip perfectly, then it can still mess up. And there's nothing you can do about it. And one of those IGTs for this manip is that you get a Nidoran with bad special. And that bad special Nidoran is very hard to run. So ideally you just get the good one. So there are a few fights in here that are optional, but we fight them so that Nidoran can get double kick before Brock. What's the world record for this game? The world record for this game is 1 hour, 54 minutes, and 1 second by Gunner Maniac. But it's very hard to, especially for yellow, it's very hard to get a consistent run. Like, most marathon runs are not even sub 2 hours. Even by, like, the top runners. So we actually got a pretty lucky fight there, considering I weakened Nidoran. So we're actually going to risk a few more potential encounters up here, because there's really no way around them. And I think the average is 1 in this grass. But in the second half of Viridian Forest, you do another RNG manipulation to get a Pidgey as your flyer. So I'm going to heal before this fight also, because he can do some damage too. So this fight is also optional. You probably could have seen I could have just walked right by him. But it gives good experience, because one of the Pokemon he has is a Metapod, who has Harden, but is not guaranteed to use it. He also has String Shot and Tackle, and Harden is his worst move by far. String Shot from the Caterpie is not helpful either, because that means you're slower than the Metapod, which gives him an extra turn to Harden. Is everything okay in terms of audio and stuff? See, if he were to harden there, I would have just kept leering until he didn't harden. Because having harden on this Metapod is pretty annoying, but we got the best possible fight. So that's good. Oh, just kidding. That's a range, I forgot about that. If that had died, it would have been the best possible fight. Alright, so now we're gonna do another RNG manipulation here. If I were to not get encounters. The encounter rate in Viridian Forest in this game is very high compared to Red and Blue. In Red and Blue, there are even some tiles that will not give encounters, in addition to the encounter rate being low. So we can get it right in front of the trainer to make it easier to get into the battle. Oh, I missed both Yola Balls. That's really annoying. Okay, we got it. If I were to miss that, if that wouldn't have gotten in, I probably would have had to either do the Manip again, or or get a Spearow later on after buying Pokeballs. Neither of which are good options. They both lose a ton of time. So I'm actually going to take the time to heal here, because I don't want to die. I'm actually kind of running low on potions, because I have to heal full for the next fight. Because, actually no, this health is fine, but I'm definitely going to save. Wow, I've been very unlucky with encounters this run. I think I got 8 total. Normally that'd be... wow. Normally that'd be decent, but with the RNG manipulation, it should lessen the encounters by quite a bit. Unfortunately, it didn't. Okay. So we're gonna fight another optional here in Brock's gym. And you die to a crit here, depending on which turn it is. If it's early on, but if it's the last turn, there's nothing you can do about it. You just die every time. So I'm just gonna save. Saving in this game loses about, I can't remember, like 6 or 7 seconds. But the safety is worth it for these types of runs. Diglett is very fast and he outspeeds you, even though this will one-shot. That critical, I think that just kills me. Yeah, I have to heal. Fortunately. Because Scratch will do 6 every time. Actually, no. It's not 6 every time, but almost every time. So yeah, he rolled 6 every time there. So there's double kick at level 12. So the beginning of this game, especially like forest and stuff, it's quite a bit slower than red and blue, because of all the grinding you have to do essentially. It's not necessarily grinding, but kinda is. So, this shielded tree dies to 2 double kicks, but Onyx is kind of a problem. Unlike in red and blue, this game gives Onyx bind, and if you haven't watched a Gen 1 speedrun before, it means bind is pretty broken. It means that you can't attack for the length that bind is used. So it loses a lot of time when it happens. Ideally, he uses bide, but we got bind, so we're gonna be stuck for a bit. Bide basically gives us free time to set up on him. But here it's kind of annoying because I'm basically already set up, so I have to keep using Leer until he's done biding. But at least this will die to 1 double kick the second turn. Still not worth it though. Okay, bind miss, alright. Alright, off to a rocky start. So there's another fight upcoming we can die, and I'm gonna heal for that. even though I'm kind of running out of potions. So, not sure if anyone remembered when they played this game as a kid, if they did, but there's this one trainer who PSR calls Shorts Guy because he raves about how shorts are so comfy and easy to wear. But on the other hand, he has this very scary Rattata that can kill you with quick attack crit. He's 1 in 3 to use quick attack, and very unlikely to crit, or very likely to crit. But I mean, most times it doesn't happen, but you ideally just... Not this guy, but the next guy. He's kind of scary, so I'm gonna potion it off. Oh, I haven't explained red bar yet. I mean, there's no consistent red bar in this game, so there's no really good place to explain it. But I guess I'll do it now. Red bar, basically, phenomenon in Gen 1. When you're low on HP, i.e. red bar, about less than 20% of your max HP, you hear the wee woo wee woo wee woo, and the HP in your bar turns red. And when that happens, in Generation 1, it skips a few things. It makes the fight faster. In red, it's like better. It's more optimal. But in this game, it still saves time. It will skip the cries that are played when a Pokemon dies. It skips level up jingles. Whereas in red, it skips like actual cries, you'll see, it's weird. It like distorts them when they are thrown into battle. So the second is a range, another topic I have to talk about. So, another thing in Gen 1, it's called Badge Boost. Now, Badge Boost exists in other games, but due to a programming error, Badge Boost does not work the way it does in other games. So, basically, after Brock's gym, we gained, I think it's 9 out of 8. A 9 out of 8 boost to our attack. And that's like set. You get that every time. But in addition, you get another 9 out of 8 boost if you get a stat change put on you. So if you get your defense dropped, or you get your accuracy dropped, or you get your attack dropped, or whatever. Although if you get your attack dropped, does less damage anyways, but... See, I just got my speed dropped, and because of that, that Caterpie died. It also crit, but... Pretty sure that would have died anyways. So we tackled that Caterpie twice. You normally horn attack it. But that's because we were short on horn attacks after weakening the Pidgey. So we're gonna evolve here. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So normally you horn attack and then you weaken it with double kick. You weaken Pokemon on this route with double kick whenever possible. And that's because of another thing called flash versus shake moves. So most moves are flash moves, I think. And what that means is they have like, when you have battle animations on, they have a flash animation. You'll see it like kind of does like a flashing thing. And you see it kind of shook there with kick. And shake animations are like quite a bit faster than I use them whenever possible. And the general rule for those are that moves with secondary effects end up being shake moves. So Horn Attack is just has no secondary effect. Tackle has no secondary effect. Double Kick can hit twice. That's their secondary effect. Generally, it doesn't always check out, but usually that's how it works. So we're actually going to say bye to Pikachu here. He's been in our party long enough, and he's been walking behind me, but later on in the game he'll trigger some cutscenes which lose a lot of time. So we're going to deposit him in the PC. Sorry buddy. Very sad. And we're going to take the time to heal here since we have like no horn attacks. I'm gonna do a manip here. It's probably the hardest manip of the run. It's so that you can get no encounters throughout the entirety of Moon, but I have a hard time with it. Not gonna lie. I'll do the best I can, but requires a lot of concentration. That was probably the earliest I could have messed up. I think at that point it's worth resetting and trying again. Nice. I messed that up. Gotta be kidding me, dude. See, I can tell I messed that up because I didn't see the buffer, so I'll explain that. But in these manips, it features a lot of A presses, so like you press A. And when that happens, it kind of it looks for an item that you're trying to pick up, and it lags the game by a little bit. And so you use that to your advantage during RNG manipulation to manipulate the encounters or lack thereof that you want. And since yellow tends to be a much laggier game than red and blue, it's a lot easier to see when someone's A-pressing. And since I didn't see the buffer caused by an A-press there, I kind of just knew I messed up. So we're just going to walk through Moon and hope to get as little encounters as possible. Definitely didn't practice this enough. But it's quite a hard manip. This is not normal, by the way. That was quite a long time without encounters. And before this trainer, we're gonna use the Moonstone to evolve. So that was obviously not good. I kind of wish I was able to show off the manip, but oh well. The fights are more interesting anyways. So this Grimer is quite annoying because it has Disable, but it didn't use it, thankfully. And so how disable works in Gen 1 is it won't disable the last move you use, instead it'll disable a random move in your moveset. That's a very good crit that doesn't die normally. This coughing is arranged to die in 2 shots. Doesn't look like I'm gonna get it. Unless I get the crit. Oh lord. Why am I getting rewarded for failing a manip? So we're gonna get Helix Fossil here, praise Helix. Doesn't really matter, it's not like you revive it or anything, but... We get the evil Jesse and James to come and steal our Pokemon. Oh no, what are we gonna do? This Ekans has Wrap, which has the same effect as Bind, like I mentioned before on Onyx. It will trap you into not using any moves for the duration of the Wrap, or whatever it's using. Got the talking Meowth there. So yeah, this game was specifically based on the anime and like made to look exactly like the anime essentially. And obviously now they have Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee to do it better in higher graphics, but personally I'm not a huge fan of those games. I don't know why. Alright, so we're gonna get out of Moon here, hopefully not get any encounters on the way out. And head to our second rival fight. Technically third if you fought the other one, but... And this fight is kind of dumb. Like, pretty dumb. Almost all the Pokemon in the fight have Sand Attack. And even after only one Sand Attack, your accuracy drops to 66% of what it would be. So if you use 100% accurate move, it becomes 66% to hit. Whereas in other gens, I think it's 75 after one. So this Spearow has Sand Attack, but it... Wait, does it have Sand Attack? It might not, but it does have Growl, which is just as bad. Makes the fight a lot longer, and you get more opportunities to get Sand Attacked. So we're looking for Leer, or even Fury Attack, honestly. Fury Attack is slow, but... Okay, Leer is probably the best option, without a crit. So that's good. And that would have given us badge boost, but when you level up, it resets all the badge boost you have. So we don't get any badge boost for the Sandshrew, unfortunately. Okay, that's fine. So we didn't get a Sand Attack at all. So that means that this Eevee, or not the Eevee, the Eevee, but not this Eevee. The Eevee after this becomes a range to 2-shot, and this Eevee also has Sand Attack, so it's kind of scary. But we got the crit, so it doesn't matter. As I mentioned before about badge boost, if I were to get Sand Attack, it makes a lot of things. So it makes a lot of things better, essentially. It actually would have... The best fight possible includes getting Sand Attacked by that Sandshrew. And hitting everything. Because if you get Sand Attacked, then Rattata dies to 1 double kick, and Eevee dies to 2 double kicks. But Neither of those happen if you don't get stand attack, but it's not worth risking a miss. That's a great crit, that doesn't die either. So yeah, Nidoran line, especially the male Nidoran line, is much more viable than basically any other Pokemon in this game. It's like not even close. Its moveset is, or its move, rather, like TMs and stuff, it's very large, it's very good. That is a range to die, and it did not. 66% to hit, and I missed twice. And there's still Nidoran after this. But I have to two-shot. Unless I can crit it. Oh, okay, I thought I got it. Dang. Double kick is very slow. Darn. Okay. But yeah, it can evolve very easily with how Mount Moon is placed with the Moonstone. You can get its final evolution before its second gym, which is very, very, very good. That's also a range to die. And probably missing Ekans range is probably the worst one, although getting Sand Attack of Pidgey is probably just as bad. So now we're going to see which Nidoran we got. There's basically 3 different Nidorans you can get from the Manip you get. And I technically already knew what it was because of my HP at level 6. Two of them have 23 HP at level 6, and this one has 22. So I have 9 defense and 14 special, which is the middle one. So now we just use Thrash for the rest of the split and basically all of Misty Split, and it kind of just demolishes everything. Its base power is very high. Wow, that's so unlikely. That is a 94% range, I want to say. It might be even higher. Meaning that in the range of damages that a move can do, 94% of them kill. That's what I said! Did I say 10? Did I say something else? 10 defense, 14 special. I might have said 13. But yeah, 10 defense, 14 special. Oh, I said 9 defense? Oh, wow. Yeah, 10 defense, 14 special. Okay.
In here, just real quick for a donation.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. But won't hear me all right. Okay. So we got a $5 donation from Elswin saying Pika Pika. Thank you so much for the $5. Again, if anyone would like to donate, make sure to hit the exclamation mark donate. There are plenty of incentives to meet. So, Elswin, if there's any incentive like you would like that to go towards, let us know. Again, thank you so much for the donation. Anyway, back to the run.
Okay. So now, this Onyx did the worst possible thing it could have done. So it has, I think it has Tackle, Screech, and Bind that it can use, and that is the worst possible move. Thank you, Wave Warrior. I almost forgot. So, I almost forgot to get Charmander, which is not in the red and blue games, which I've been practicing recently. And he is used instead of Paris as the cut and dig slave for the run. Runner's choice. I'll have to look at the incentives. Dang. Okay. So back to Thresh destroying everything. So you rarely have red bar for this part of the run, because you don't normally get enough damage that you would get in the red bar. But now that I have it, I'll keep it for a while. Because you don't level up, I think, until right before the Goldeen. Or right after. Technically right after this next trainer. That quick attack is good, because now I get red bar for the whole thing. And it doesn't matter that I'm low in HP, because before the Misty fight you center to restore your PP. And to set your dig spot. To get back to Cerulean after getting the bike voucher. Yeah, I'll do Drillbur probably. I don't know what I would name it though. I'm terrible at nicknames. Elswin, do you want to name it? If I told you that I would choose Drillbur's name, do you have a name? So now we're gonna go to Misty's gym after talking to Bill and turning him out of a Pokemon. Yeah, perfect. I'll name it Pikachu. Awesome. $5 towards Pikachu as Drillbur's name. Great. Let's go. I'm not used to walking back to Cerulean. Normally in red and blue, you have an escape rope that you get in Mount Moon, and you can use it in Bill's house, but that doesn't work in this game. A lot of stuff doesn't work in this game that works in red and blue. They fixed a bunch of stuff. One of the major ones being instant text. You cannot talk to the bike shop guy before getting your bike in order to get instant text, unlike red and blue. Which many people see as a glitch. And it's probably the closest thing to a glitch in the Gen 1 runs. But most people still look at it as an oversight. Because theoretically, any person who plays it casually could find this. Accidentally. So this Goldeen normally is fine, but sometimes can be super annoying. Because it has Supersonic. But thankfully we got Tail Whip, which is probably the best possible thing. Aside from a crit. Or, I guess, Tail Whip failing, but... Should have been in yes, glitches allowed. Alright. Misty. Oh, Misty. Probably one of the harder fights in the game, but it's not... I didn't save for it because you can just go back from the center next to the gym pretty easily, and it's not that slow. X Defend is very scary, but it can be good depending on what the second one is. This is kind of scary. This is very scary. Okay, we're alive. We shouldn't be alive. So what you do here is I'm actually going to center again because I don't have the potions to heal. I only have one potion. Plus it's a good safety strat. Alright. So basically this entire split is completely free fights, except for Surge. The team is quite different from the team he has in Red and Blue. He only has a level 28, I think 28, Raichu, and that's it. And Raichu is given Mega Punch and Kick, unlike in Red and Blue where he can't damage you. And Mega Kick crit does almost all of your health. And since his speed is so... I didn't mention that either. Gen 1 critical hits are based off of base speed, and Raichu is one of the more faster Pokemon in the game, so his crit rate is quite high. Like around 20-ish% to crit. Which is much higher than the standard 1 in 16 in most other games, or all other games. So we're gonna get a Hidden Forest door coming up, and it will prove to be... Okay, I'm not sure how that happened, but we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, it proves handy coming up in certain fights. So as you see, we risked the grass there in 2 different places, so that you can avoid all the trainers on that route, besides the 2 that are mandatory at the bottom. I think on average you get a little bit less than 1 encounter. But you can theoretically get 3, but it's so unlikely, like ridiculously unlikely. So all 3 of those Pidgeys could have quick attacked. And also this Rattata and Quick Attack. Oh, that's right, Wave. Thank you. That makes sense. So yeah. Normally you can buffer that 4-star pickup and it skips the jingle. But because of how long my name is, the text box takes too long to clear. Always she beats me. So we're gonna sell Paralysis Heal, TM34, and Nugget. Buy Repels. And those Repels are for Rock Tunnel, which you do without Flash, which is a lot easier than you think. You mean like the frame perfect text box afterwards? You can't. Oh, I have to teach Bubble Beam. Yeah, so normally you can buffer the text box after using cut on something, but again with this long name, it might make it difficult / impossible to do. And this fight is quite easy in yellow. You cannot die, but you can get. I think the worst thing that can happen, besides a Gen 1 miss, I haven't gotten yet, so I haven't had time to explain it. Rattata, that's basically it. Oh, I see. So yeah, that puts me at kind of risk, but it's not low enough so that I should heal. We'll see. So we're gonna get HMO1 cut from the captain here. Oh, I see. Yeah. I've never actually had a longer name, so I've never seen it not skip the jingle. So you need cut to even get into Surge's gym. So you have to do the boat at some point before Surge, but you can do the boat first and then go back to Misty and then go up to Surge. There's a lot more freedom when it comes to the Kanto region and what order gyms you do. And we're going to take advantage of that to do the gyms that we want to do in the run. Earlier or later, depending on various things. So I'm gonna get the bike voucher first here. It doesn't really matter whether you do it before or after Surge. The time save is pretty equal actually. It's just preference when it comes to my splits that I do before Surge. It's pretty split whether people do it before or after. It really doesn't matter. although doing it before, if you were to die to Surge without saving, then it makes it faster to get back from Cerulean, but I'm gonna save for Surge. Shoot, I did that wrong. Oh, yep. Nice. Oh, it's gonna screw me up for the entire game. Yep. It's gonna mess with my head. Cans puzzle here. Pretty RNG heavy on which can is the right can. Wow. There's only 8 cans it can be, and it's the last one. Wow. Alright, at least we got the second can. Alright. So let's not die. I think this fight is the only gym leader fight in the entire franchise where he only has one Pokemon. Oh my god. Okay, well, that's not good. Alright, no damage from Surds. I might have to actually switch the moves. I don't even know how to do that, but it's gonna mess with my head. So we're gonna get the bike here, which makes moving across the map super fast. Much faster than walking. I think it's either twice as fast or 3 times as fast as walking. Oh god. Okay, well. Another risky fight. So the mechanics of Thrash in this game, they changed later on in the franchise, but some water. So it's a high power move, but it hits for 3 to 4 turns, 50-50 whether it's 3 or 4. And after it's done, it will confuse you. And so this girl has 4 Pokemon, and they only die to Thrash. So it's 50-50 whether I don't get 4-turn Thrash, and it's 50-50 to hurt myself, so I just lost double coin flips and 2 sleep powder. Wait, yeah, I think it's better to full restore here. See, that's where the full restore comes in handy. And that's just unlucky. Okay, well. Wow. It's kind of insane. I'm still asleep. Wow. I've never seen this fight actually go this bad. Dang. That probably lost more than a minute, for sure. So that didn't go well. So I'm gonna bubble beam this Caterpie, because due to how bad 4-turn Thrash can be, if I were to miss this upcoming Venonat range, I would be forced to hit a 4-turn Thrash if I were to Thrash the Caterpie. It's a pretty likely range, so normally you don't have to risk it, but it doesn't save that much time to not bubble beam it, so normally you do. So entering Rock Tunnel up here, and even though you can't see anything, you can see the walls around you, so that helps quite a lot. Whereas I'm not sure if it works like this in all generations after, but when you're in a dark cave, you can't see anything except like item balls. Like, you can't even see the walls. Which makes it significantly harder. That means you actually have to memorize the route. It helps to memorize it here, but you don't theoretically have to. You mostly do it so that you can dodge optionals. So all these fights that I'm doing are mandatory, and none of them are threats, except this one coming up. This upcoming girl has an Oddish and a Bulbasaur. And on this route, when you're level 29, this Oddish is a 55% range to die. And the Bulbasaur is an 87% range to die. That is completely horrible. Absolutely horrible. I'm not even sure what I do now, because I already used my full restore. So I think all I can do now, I don't know what I can do now. I literally don't know. I've never not had a 4-star here when that happened. No, but there's no place to reset to. Normally, like, you would reset, because you usually save for that Oddish, but since I was such high HP, you shouldn't have to. Nice. I have very little healing items, so this can go very badly. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. I think Okay, good. I think if he's self-destructed, it would have killed me. There's still a lot of fights that I have to get through while paralyzed. This fight here, thrashing while paralyzed is just scary as well. I'm gonna hope that I'm faster than most of them, but I don't think I am. Yeah, Scratch. I mean, Scratch isn't bad, but most it crits. This girl has 3 Pokemon, so I think if I get fullied once, then I have to risk a 4-turn Thrash. Makes the run exciting. Okay. Okay. Alright. That's another fight we're through. So I think I'm actually gonna heal in the Celadon Center before Lavender Rival. Or I could... Is that even a play? At the shopping place? But... I'm not sure how that will play out. Okay, that's good. Alright. I think the worst thing Vulpix has is Quick Attack, alright. Alright. Okay, we're good. So, what do we do? What do we do? You literally cannot do the rival fight while paralyzed, so either I center in Celadon or I buy a paralysis heal. So we're gonna pick up the hidden elixir here, if done properly. Wow, imagine. And that nugget's very optional, just if you lose money anywhere, or just for safety. If I decide to buy a paralysis heal, I might need it, I'm not sure. I think I will just buy a paralysis heal. I think it's in the same place as, like, potions, so... So TM07 is Horn Drill, which is very useful through the entire run. I'll explain why in a second. Why is it the last one? Hey, you know what would have been useful? The paralysis heal I sold. Before thirds. Who knew? Actually, I don't think you were supposed to sell that. I think you're supposed to keep that for that exact reason. Cool. Alright, so... Soda Pop here to give to this girl, and she gives you Rock Slide. And the reason you get Rock Slide is because none of your other moves can do any or at least significant damage to the Ghost in Lavender Tower, besides Rock Slide. Because they're either normal, fighting, or poison type moves. I think it's 11, 3, 6, 3. 2, 6, 3, I think. Considering I have just enough money, I'm gonna trust I'm correct. Forgot about that. So there's a little big menu here. Where's the paralysis heal? Honestly, I'll just use the potion and pick up what? I think I'll pick up... Yeah, I'll pick up the Revive in Tefari Zone. And the reason I'm picking up the Revive, and that's not normal, is because you want to have your inventory full for the later half of the gyms, and that's so that you don't pick up the gym leader's TMs that they give you. So this fight is probably the easiest fight in the game. Just kidding. But it's very easy because all you do is X accuracy on Furo, and you horns roll the entire thing. Because it's just too difficult to try and kill it with other moves. Plus, you go on the heal pad in this tower, and that restores all the PP anyways, so you don't lose anything from it, basically. The downside of Rock Slide is that it's not guaranteed to hit. It is a 90% accurate move, and on some HPs, you die to these gas lilies. Now this and Lavender Rival are the only fights that you are like not really safe from getting damage. Because after you finish this fight, you go into the heal pad before your next fight, and everything's restored. It's 90% accurate to hit, and I think I'm dead to Nightshade. Cool. I'm dead. So that's very unlucky. That literally never happens. I mean, I expected Nightshade. Normally if you get confused, right, you hit through it on your first or second try. I didn't really have healing items to compensate it, but it's okay. Money's fine, because I have the nugget that I didn't sell, which I'm now glad I didn't. So I might have to risk some encounters. Not now, but when it runs out, because it will run out before I leave. So yeah, it hits 9 out of 10 times, so normally you don't miss, but it happens from time to time. And when you hit both, it's fine. Okay. So we're gonna get a Pokeball Elixir, and also this hidden elixir, because PP restoration is quite important throughout the run. So you saw the repel ran out there. To be honest, I didn't even know you could get encounters on the heal pad. The more you know. So normally these fights are pretty simple, although you can lose time because of missing Rock Slide. It happens. But you're way less likely to die. Like, you saw, dying from my HP was unlikely enough. But you would have to get, like, insanely unlucky to die there. Normally it's not this high of an encounter rate. I think I've done this a few times. It's not the slowest death, but it's definitely not the fastest. Come on. That's 6. Each encounter loses about 10 seconds. How do I fix this? So X accuracy should be slot 3. Right now they're in slot 2 because I used the potion, which was in slot 2 at the time. So I guess what I'll do is swap it. Alright. And this fight's also easy because how broken Orangeville is in this game. Basically, if you use an X accuracy before any fight, it makes every move guaranteed to hit. It doesn't even go through the accuracy check, it just skips it. a lot longer of a death than I thought it would be. So now we're gonna do Silphco. And Silphco is quite a higher level than the Pokemon we just fought. Yet, you're still, faster than most of them. I think all of them. You grab a Carbos in Silphco, and it makes it so that you're faster than the Pokemon on Silph Rival. And when you're faster than a Pokemon in Gen 1, and you try to use a one-hit KO move, it will work. If you're slower, it does not. So a slightly different strat here than in Red and Blue. You go up to floor 10, and you fight an optional. And you do that so that you get access to the TM ball that holds Earthquake. And in yellow, you kind of need Earthquake to get through Silphco. You can't do it with just Orange Roll. Learfail is the best possible thing he could have done. He also can low kick and karate chop you, which puts you at lower HP for the Giovanni fight. We're gonna pick up all of those items. I like to call that the easiest menu in the game, yet I still messed it up. Because, I don't know, it's not that hard of a menu. So normally, well, yeah, you have Earthquake in this game, and it just one-shots the Arbok. Sometimes you'll have to worry about Glare from this Arbok if you either Gen 1 miss it, or you don't one-shot it for some reason, and that can paralyze you. It's very annoying. Items anymore, I wouldn't have been able to deal with that. And we're gonna rare candy here so that we are well equipped for Silph Rival. Yeah, Silph Rival is a very hard fight, since the level increase from Lavender Tower to Silph is quite high. I think Venusaur is level 40 on this fight. Oh, Venusaur? God. No, I'm not going for world record. This cannot world record. World record is very difficult to beat, especially in a marathon run. You need near perfect RNG and great execution, neither of which I have. And there's quite a lot of RNG in this game to worry about. And we haven't even hit most of it yet. Yeah, 1 hour, 54 minutes is the world record. And this is on pace for like 2 hours and 10 minutes. So we get Lapras here, the free gift Lapras, because it's very convenient. It's basically right there, and you can learn Strength and Surf on it. Since you don't have a starter, you can't use Squirtle to do that for you. So Lapras comes in handy with that. Another Jesse and James fight. Can't think of a single time where you have trouble with Jesse and James fights. You literally just one-shot everything. Yes, Gunner Maniac holds the current world record for yellow. He's not playing yellow now, but he promises to go back immediately and take back the world record if someone ever takes it. He's very passionate about yellow. Alright, this fight can go a lot of different ways depending on what the Persian and the Nidorino do. So you set up an X attack on the Nidorino. And so he gets a turn because of that. But the Persian will also outspeed you, and he gets a turn too. So the fight can vary quite a bit depending on what they use. Focused energy is the best thing you could have done. That's very good. You either want focus energy from him or guard spec. Guard spec is also very, very nice. Screech fail is the best thing that he could have done besides guard spec. Persian can growl, which makes both the Persian and the Nidoqueen ranges to die, and Nidoqueen can pack a punch. No! Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, good luck there. Alright. Lap. By the way, in case you're wondering. What am I doing? So we're going to run away from the static Snorlax here because we have no reason to kill it or catch it. Dodge these optionals. All 4 of those are optionals. We're going to get this hidden rare candy, which will come in handy later. If you just go straight down here, you dodge all optionals. There are quite a lot in the majority of Cycling Road. So we're gonna bike around all the cut bushes, which will definitely help my muscle memory. Dig and cut are gonna be reversed for the entirety of this run now. I have to keep remembering that. And now we have to go to Safari Zone to get both HMO3 Surf and Gold Teeth, which you trade for HMO4 Strength. Both of which are required to finish the game. Chances are so rare, though. I would have to be there for hours. I don't get good luck from catching Chansey. I need good luck to catch Chansey. Am I on repels? I think I am. Okay. So this is the freest fight in the game. As long as you use all the correct moves, this is literally the only fight in the game where you cannot die. Because Sabrina has a level 50 Abra, like she does in the anime, and all Abra can do to you is flash. And because you have X accuracy up, it does nothing. Oh yeah, and get X defended. But other than that... We needed the X speed there so that we can be faster than this Alakazam, because Alakazam is super fast. I literally told myself I shouldn't. I just need to know that I'm on Pokedex, and I still didn't listen to myself. So technically, it's faster to bike from the Pokemon Center to the gym. Most times, that's the case, but it requires absolutely perfect execution, and if you don't get it, then it's slower. So this is the last. We haven't used Thrash in a long time, And it comes in super handy with this fight. It makes the fight quite a bit faster. So I mentioned the gym order before, and I think you'll notice that we didn't fight Erica yet. And that's because you don't really need the experience from Erica, and it's just more convenient to do it later when you have moves like Earthquake or Blizzard. And you can take it on easier and not have to worry about long fight. And now in this route, Erica's just free. Because you're so much higher level than it. All the Pokemon. Okay, Disable's fine. Means I don't have to heal. Alright. Again, there's a lot of things that can happen here. Ideally, we want Psychic or X attack on this first one. Okay. Okay. The one that you do not want is Sleep Powder, and this Venonat cannot Sleep Powder. That's why we set up on it. It can Psybeam, though, which can confuse you. Alright, we're good. I have to heal for Koga, and I think... What HP should I be at? Okay. So I'm just gonna Super Potion before Koga, or before Blaine. Blaine is one of the harder fights in the game, because Ninetales can do a lot of crazy stuff. Confuse Ray being the most dangerous, normally. So there's the first instance of, actually no, second instance of our bag being full. Yeah. I am dumb. So here's where we're gonna trade the gold teeth for strength. And then we're gonna say bye to Fuchsia forever. Do that. We're gonna have to use Strength and Surf to Lapras here. Lucky that Lapras doesn't have a lot of moves, so he just learns them. We don't have to forget a move or something. When you do inputs. When you do consecutive inputs too fast, there's a bit of a lag. And it's a lot higher in yellow than in red and blue. So you have to take that into account when doing your inputs. Because sometimes your inputs might just be eaten by the game and won't register. Oh, I forgot to mention. Cinnabar Mansion, in yellow only, there are wild encounters that are the same or higher level than this Nidoking. And those both happen to be Raticates. So there's a level 43 Raticate. And there are also level 46 Raticates. I'm out of water again. And if they spawn, you encounter them through Repel. And it loses 10 seconds. So no rats. There's an encounter like this and there's a rat. There's an encounter like this in Victory Road as well. And it's on the top floor. Level 49 Onyxes. And by that time, I think you're 48. So you have to risk getting Onyxes as well. So now we're going to do Cinnabar, since we now have the key, and we're going to answer the much faster Blaine questions, where after you answer the first one, it skips the whole annoying intro. There's no lag at the end. Or at least not as much. Okay, so for Ninetales, Ninetales has, what does it have? Tail Whip, Flamethrower, Confuse Ray, and I'm missing one. It doesn't do anything, or it doesn't kill you. Quick Attack. So ideally you want Tail Whip or Quick Attack. And if you get those, the fight's just free. But Flamethrower can crit, because Ninetales' crit rate's kind of insane. So it can crit pretty easily. Or it can also burn, and burn's just also Rip Run. It's just easier to save. You can make it through Confuse Ray, but Flamethrower burn is really tough. Oh boy. That's unlucky. Oh, that's very unlucky. I'm dead. Confuse Ray most times results in a death, but not always. If you can get a quick snap out, it's not always as bad, but... So just get Tail Whip this time. There you go. Easy. So that's how easy the fight can be. And that's just, you win. Now, there's a lot of routes of this game, right? More so than most games. And there are quite a few routes that this Arcanine is ranged to die. And if you miss that range, you also just die. But with this new route that's been developed by, I think it was mostly Araya LOL, go follow him. But I think a bunch of other people that I can't think of, maybe Huangbro XD. Unlucky. But a lot of people work together to make this route work, and it's very useful. So you just ate my A press there to select, what's it called? Select Charmander. So Blizzard is not as scary as you think, because Blizzard in this game is 90% accuracy compared to 70% in every other generation. But it still can be pretty bad if you miss. Like the execute probably, I think it has hypnosis. I have to sit through the Poga Flute cry, like animation thing. And then you also Blizzard this Tangela, and Tangela has Bind, and we all know what Bind does by now. Okay. And that's the only thing this fight where you have to use Blizzard on, because it's the only pure grass type. And we're coming up to the last gym. No! How did I forget? That was like the last cut bush, too, of the entire game. Alright. So as hard as Blaine fight might have seemed, or as, like, risky, I guess, or unsafe, or inconsistent, whatever you want to call it, Giovanni is pretty sure it's worse. It's kind of the same idea with the crit rate thing. Dugtrio is the lead, and Dugtrio's crit rate is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's 1 in 4 to crit. And it has Earthquake and Dig. Both of them with a crit will kill. What's up, Legend? This is exactly enough HP for a Super Potion. So all I have to do is, okay. So there's our first instance of a Gen 1 miss. Somehow it's just now. But basically, in Generation 1, some person at Game Freak messed up and made it so that every 100% or any move in general has a 1 in 256 chance to miss, even if it says it has 100%. And so it can be pretty annoying because you never anticipate a Gen 1 miss. It happens so infrequently, but it can happen anywhere. Oh, that was bad. Alright, here comes Giovanni. Giovanni is awful. So you have to set up 2 X items. So not only is Doug Trio bad, if you make it through Doug Trio, you also have to make it through Persian as well. So there's Earthquake. That's not a crit, okay. Yeah, you should watch Oros, it's a fun run. But I can still die here as well. Yeah, I'm dead. We're times making it seem like it's harder than it is. It's not that bad. I mean, I guess if you're going for a top time, it's pretty bad. Because... I died to Blaine, too. I died 3 times this run. It's going well. Okay. Alright. I'm doing so slow stuff. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do! That was such an easy fight! Why do I keep getting the god fight second try? No, alright, I'm already over it, for sure. Like, minutes over it. So a lot of these fights, you'll see, like, it's more the setup that's the problem, but after you get past the setup, the fight is easy. So it really depends on what the first Pokemon is, and what it has, on average. Not gonna lie, I don't know what I was thinking when I put in an estimate of 205. But I kind of warned the people in the marathon this would go over, and they said it was fine. I just hate to go over estimate. Ha, good one. Alright, so we'll see what the Sand Slash does. Swift is very good. Probably the best option. Because Sand Slash on this fight will always hit you with something. It either does Fury Swipes, Slash, or Swift. Fury Swipes loses a lot of time, and Slash does a lot of damage. So Swift is the winner by quite a margin. Alright, I have like no healing items. I have 1 Super Potion and 1 Full Restore. Yeah, I was gonna buy a bunch of 4 stores. Because you could just get the, there's a hidden floor store at the end of Victory Road. And you could get that on a PB attempt, if you're short of 4 store. But it's not that much slower to, go buy 4 stores, and it's much safer. Wait, it's not slower than picking it up? Oh, okay. Mega lol. But either way, it would be worth it either way in Marathon. So we're coming up at the part where I mentioned before about the onyxes. I think it's the 3rd floor, but it's definitely, I think it's the top floor. Where you can get level 49 onyxes. Even through Repel, you encounter them. They're a 10% encounter, and they're always level 49 on that floor. It's a very clicky keyboard, sorry. Most people who know me are used to it by now. That's why, I hate the fact that yellow is so much laggier. Especially with this boulder, I always get debated by it. So now my repel's probably gonna wear out early. I call it, we're not getting Moltres. Okay, that's an Onyx. Quite an early Onyx, actually. I'm sorry, I would have made it a bit more of an incentive if I knew people would have wanted it. Yeah, that's true. How would I catch it? I don't have the Master Ball. Or any Pokeballs, for that matter. But if I had known that someone had wanted me to go catch a Legendary, I would have set it up as a bit war. And picked up the Master Ball. Two Onyxes, I think it's above average. I've gotten above average encounters everywhere. Like 4 on Route 1, 4 in Forest. Everywhere except Mount Moon. Yeah, 1 tile early. Okay. Onyx, that's right. Imagine thinking that XY is my favorite speedrun. Nice meme, more tab. Easy. Three swag bowlers, I'll take it. Let's go. XY is... Honestly, though, I kind of like XY. Like, does that make me insane? I think it does. But I like XY. I've never actually run Crystal, but I've heard it's a very good speed run from one Quay lagging. Alright, so Lorelei. I'm gonna set up an X accuracy, and it's pretty equally likely that Dugong goes for Rest, Bubble Beam, or Aurora Beam. Rest is super ideal. That's fine too if I doesn't crit. Okay. Alright, we're good. Bubble Beam is also kind of scary because it can drop your speed, which means you have to set up an X speed. So that's it for Lorelei. And Bruno's probably the least dangerous out of the E4. All you can really do is Ice Punch on... Well, it depends on what you go for. You can stall on the Onix, which is the lead, but you also can stall on the Hitmonchan, which is the second Pokemon. Yellow's a good game, I like it. What am I doing? Is this the Max Ether? I think it is. Ah, it's so far down! Why not? I'll just not save for Agatha and keep that save. So, since I'm going to set up on Hitmonchan, there are a few things it can do. There are 5 different things that can happen on Hitmonchan. There's the 3 elemental punches, the worst one being Ice Punch because it's super effective. It also has Double Team, and it can Bruno can use an X Defend. Double Team and X Defend are the 2 best ones by far. Okay, easy. So now this fight is free. Yes, we did use the Pokédoll to skip the ghost. And that's another borderline glitch, but it's not known as a glitch in the PSR community, but it's pushing it. There's also a classic category, which is like bare bones, which is probably a more ideal run for like a no glitches allowed, because it has like nothing even that can be like considered RNG, or like what's it called? Considered glitches, because you don't RNG min up anything. Like your Nidorann's random. That's not ideal. Mega... That's very bad. Okay. This is not good. Yeah, and Classic doesn't use Poké-Flute glitch, and it skips instant text, but not in this game, you skip it anyways. Okay. Wow! I've never gotten Super Potion to this day. It never happens. Okay, well now this is easy. I've been playing Yellow for a few months now, and I've still never gotten Super Potion on like Golbat. Agatha, I think it's like a, I don't know. It's either 1 in 8 or 1 in 4, I feel like. For Agatha to use a Super Potion on Golbat after you hit a Blizzard on it. And it's never happened to me before. I've literally crit it more than I've gotten Super Potion, and it's less likely to crit. Okay. Gyarados. Gyarados is not very nice. Why is it so far down? Ugh. Yes, this is the last PP item. And you need it to restore a lot of things, actually. Mostly Blizzard, because you need a lot of Blizzards, and if you miss any, then it's a lot worse. But you really don't need an Elixir, you could just Ether. Theoretically. Okay, that's very, very, very good. Hydro Pump Miss is fantastic. Because the reason you X Special there in the first place is so that you can live a Hydro Pump. But now we don't need to. That's a crit. Doesn't matter though. Okay, it does matter. It's fine. Oh god, I'm so dumb. I think you'd be surprised how much that happens. So this is probably the amount of health you'd be on anyways. If you didn't get damaged by either Gyarados or if you got damaged by Gyarados but not Dragonair. That's a death. Ugh. Missing Blizzard on that thing in yellow is a death sentence. In red, it's fine because he's like basically harmless. But in this game, he has Blizzard and Fire Blast, which is completely broken. Another 90% accurate move, by the way. And you only had to hit it once. That's probably the worst thing in the game to miss it on, too. This HP is bad. We're gonna hope for Hyper Beam here. The Hyper Beam would have killed me. Okay, so now I get an extra turn to stall. Alright. Imagine dying 4 times. I died to Lavender or Channeler, Blaine, Geo, Lance. I'm probably gonna die to Champion because everyone dies to Champion. Champion in this game, to put it in perspective on this route, it has probably about a 60% win rate. per time. So it's pretty rough. So we're gonna heal the full because Earthquake nearly kills you every single time. And crit always kills you. So, let me explain how this fight works. Again, once you get past the first Sand Slash, it's pretty easy, but you have to get past it first. So basically what you have to do is Sand Slash always uses Earthquake, and it always hits because it's a 100% accurate move. Well, 99.6% because of General Miss, but you can't depend on that, obviously. So after that, you can't get crit. And then you have to hit a Blizzard, 90%. And then you have to hit a range of 85%-ish on my stats. And it can be even worse, depending on if you have bad special or not. I am not dead yet. Okay. It's 2 parts. Alright, we're good. There's one more thing, but it can't really kill you. I have to set up an X accuracy on this thing, but it can't really kill you. That's the bad thing. But it loses time. Not this again. Okay, there you go. That's what you want the first time. Alright, that's a win. So this went way over estimate. I anticipated bad RNG, but I didn't anticipate how bad I would be playing. Alright, so time is... You'll see the in-game time show after I enter the Hall of Fame. And then it's after the whiteout. It's on the whiteout after it shows the Pokédex rating. This time was awful. But here's our champion.
Time is coming up, correct?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, we're running a little bit behind, so.
Time is now. Oh, I pressed up time.
GG. Right, we're running a little bit behind on estimates, so you know,
Yeah.
you still have some time. But if you want to shout out some people, then gotta be a little bit quick because we do gotta
Yeah, I
catch it
understand.
a little bit back up. It happens. It happens.
I just want to shout out the whole PSR community, I guess, who have come up with the manips and the routes to finish this game as fast as possible. I'd like to thank some people that I've been racing yellow with and red and everything like that, like Araya or Wangbro has been frequent, and Diego Lazo, and everyone else has been participating in the yellow and red races in the upcoming red tourney. Thank you.
Oh, you should link that in the chat.
Yeah. It's gonna be on what's it called? Speed Gaming.
Ooh.
Yeah. In late September. I don't know what to send, but
Just link the like challenge or like the announcement in the chat during the next run.
yeah.
That's all good.
All right.
Anything else?
That's it. Thanks for watching, you guys.
Right, thanks for the run. Thanks for the run.
All right, guys. That was Pokemon Yellow. Hope you guys enjoyed. Up next, we have Pokemon White 2 on the 2. We had a couple more games up for the next Pokemon block, so stay tuned for that. Real quick, we're gonna do a real quick transition over with restreamers. So just give us a few minutes here. We're gonna put some music back on for you guys, and we'll get that right. We'll go ahead and get that right up for you guys.